All right, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for tuning into our third installment here at Conquer Fitness Q&A, where we answer all your questions about lifestyle, fitness, nutrition, and how to get back into the best shape of our lives. I'm Ryan Palmer. I'm the owner here at Conquer Fitness, where we specialize in helping adults in their 40s, 50s, and 60s get back into the best shape and enjoy their life again. All right, let's jump into it. We got 3 really good questions for you this week. I'm just going to read them right off the board here. Can you discuss creatine and who would benefit from creatine? Yeah, absolutely. Creatine is definitely the most studied supplement in the industry, period. So in order to understand what creatine is going to do for us, we first need to understand the body's energy pathways, right? And by energy pathways, I mean our body's ability to create energy within, and for us to be able to move our muscles and live and survive. So within the body, we have 3 main energy pathways. The first one is our phosphagen ATP pathway. You have your glycolytic pathway, which is number 2, and then you have your oxidative pathway, which is number 3. So the phosphagen ATP pathway, that is our body's initial pathway. So the best way to explain this is, if you were going to go for a sprint, an all-out sprint, and you started from the starting line, you would be able to sprint as fast as you possibly could for about 10 seconds. At that 10-second mark, you would feel your body slow down a little bit. And you might think you can push past it, you can try, but your body is just not going to be able to maintain that explosive energy for much longer than 10 seconds. That's our phosphagen ATP pathway. It's immediate energy use. It's for explosive power. It's what you're going to see when we are lifting super heavy weights in the gym. It's what you're going to see when powerlifters are using, sprinters are using. It is not what you're going to see when you are running a marathon, right? That's going to be the oxidative. So the ATP pathway lasts for about 10 seconds. Once that turns off, we turn into our glycolytic pathway. That's what uses our stored carbohydrates or glycogen in the body. That lasts a little bit longer, so that picks up at that 10-second mark, and that's going to last for about 2 to 3 minutes max. After that, we turn into our oxidative pathway. That's our aerobic, or in presence of oxygen, pathway. So that's where we can actually see ourselves running marathons, doing long-winded activities. So what does creatine do? Creatine is going to help to expand that window of that phosphagen ATP pathway. So basically what's going to happen is we are going to absorb the creatine within our body, within our muscles, and it's going to help to extend that 10 seconds. Maybe we'll get an extra second out of it. Maybe we'll be a little bit stronger, have a little longer endurance of that explosive energy. So that's really what the creatine is going to do for us physically, but we need to know how to take it in as well, right? The best way for us to absorb creatine is going to be, I would say, post-workout. So maybe right after your workout, take it with some kind of carbohydrate source. So if you want to put that in a fruit juice, if you have a carbohydrate powder, like one of the ones we sell here, Cluster Bomb or Super Carb, if you want to put in some orange juice, or if you want to have it in just a glass of water and have it with some kind of carbohydrate food source, that also works really well. We want to have it with some kind of carbohydrate source because that's going to help release insulin, and the insulin is a transport hormone in our body that's going to help us to shuttle it into those muscles. Right after we work out is the best time to do that, because we have some other GLUT4 responders that come to the cell walls that help to grab stuff and pull it in with that creatine, and our body's just hypersensitive to food at that point, so it's going to suck it right into those muscles. Hope that helps. Sorry, I apologize. Creatine's good for anyone trying to improve their performance in the gym or outside the gym, and they're just looking to improve their performance as an athlete in general. So safe for everybody. The last thing I'll say about it is you will notice a little bit of water retention because it's going to pull in a little bit of water. So if you are in a dieting phase where we're trying to lose body fat, you can still lose body fat. You just might not see the scale move as quickly as you were previously. That's all. All right, next question. Recommended exercises to lessen the impact of arthritis as well as flexibility. All right, so let's talk what is arthritis, right? 2 different main kinds. Rheumatoid arthritis is more of a disease that is our immune system attacking the cartilage in our bones. The other one, which is more common, is the osteoarthritis. That's more age-related, more wear and tear, activity, high impact, labor-related, right? The more activity we've done, especially as younger kids doing impact type sports, that's the cartilage wearing down on like the bone cap. So we're getting more of like a grinding effect. So that's what arthritis really is it's it's the wearing away of the cartilage in our joints. So we need to protect it. The first thing I would say that we could do is we could take a supplement like this right here by Species Nutrition. It's called Arthritis. This is a great supplement for joint health. It's going to have both your glucosamine, your MSM, and it's actually coming with some cartilage in here as well. So that's going to help us protect and repair a little bit. So you're getting the actual raw ingredients of what like our joints are made out of to help repair those joints. Aside from like supplementation, I think what we really need to do is we need to stay away from like inflammatory foods. So we want to stay away from like processed foods. We want to stay a little bit more away from our higher redder meats, like our higher fatty acid. With our red meats contain fatty acids like omega-6s. We want to stay away from those a little bit. Higher dairy type foods as well. In addition to those, we want to start incorporating some standard like mobility and stretching routines into our programming, right? If we can stretch the muscles around those affected joints and create a little bit more space in that capsule, we can protect ourselves a little bit more. Other than that, I would say let's start practicing some like heating. So we could do like a heat wrap on, so let's say if it's our knees, we could do a heat wrap on our knees before the gym, before our workout, to help lube that joint up, get the fluids rolling there. That's really the best bet. And then I would just say let's strengthen all the muscles around those joints to help protect it and keep us stronger. It's, unfortunately, it's one of those things that's going to be inevitable, that it's going to be painful. And so with pain comes less use. So on the days that we're feeling good, let's really push it. On the days that we're feeling bad, at least now we have that muscle around that joint to help protect it, right? And our last question is about portion sizes. Like, how do we determine our portion sizes, right? Listen, I have a really great packet that I can send anybody that messages me about this. It's a really great packet that goes over everything: nutrition, portion sizes, how to create your own meal plan, how to adjust your own meal plan. Within that, you'll find that I talk a lot about our macronutrients, right? Proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Those are our three macronutrients. Those are what make up the calories in the body. So when it comes to determining our portion size for those things, we need to prioritize protein first and foremost. That's the most important nutrient for our body. Every cell in our body is made of protein. So once we determine the amount of our protein, which is going to be anywhere between like 0.8 to 1.2 grams per lean body weight. And I just want to explain that real quick. So I myself am about like 210 pounds. I would say my lean body weight that I would want to like base a diet plan off of is somewhere around 180 pounds. So if I'm 180 pounds lean and I fall in between that 0.8 to 1.2 category, I'm just going to make it really simple for math's sake. I want to do 1 gram of protein per body weight. I want to try to meet the standard of 1 gram per body weight. So I'd want to try to meet 180 grams of protein a day. That's going to be a really good number to help me preserve the muscle mass that I have and still add on a little bit more muscle, right? If you're a higher end athlete, like I was back in the day when I was still doing my bodybuilding, I was definitely pushing the threshold of that 1.2, honestly more like 1.5 to almost 2 grams of protein per body weight, but those are in extreme cases. If we are the average adult trying to better ourselves, build a little bit of muscle, feel stronger, between 0.8 and 1.2 is perfect for us. From there, we'll move on to the fats because it's the next easiest one to gauge here. I would say anywhere between like 20 to 35% of our calories should come from a fat source. So again, this is all going to be very dependent on the individual and their body weight. Lastly, we're going to say our carbohydrates. So our carbohydrate portion sizes. This is the one nutrient that is very particular to the individual and their activity level. So first and foremost, carbohydrates are a non-essential nutrient, meaning we do not need the carbs to survive. Carbohydrates are a fuel source. And if we are without carbs, our body can manipulate fats and proteins to also take care of that as well. But we want to take in carbs if we have the opportunity to, because it's our body's preferred fuel source and it's a lot easier on our system to do that. So if we are trying to take in our carbohydrates, we're trying to figure out how much we need to take in, we need to look at our lifestyle. We need to look at how much activity we perform. If I am just a very sedentary person, I work from home on my laptop all day long, I sit on the couch, I get done with my work, I watch TV, I don't need many carbs at all. If I am someone that is getting ready for a triathlon and I'm running and I'm riding a bike and I'm swimming a couple times a week, then I need a lot of carbohydrates. So if most of us are somewhere in between there, I would say a good rule of thumb for us to start is somewhere between like 120 to 150 if we're on the lower end of activity. If we're a little upper, maybe around 200. Try those numbers out and see how our body responds to it. A good way to follow that is taking photos, seeing how we are changing physically, if we look like we're getting fat, if we look like we're getting leaner, and adjust those numbers from there. All right, I hope these answers helped everyone out. If you guys have any more questions, please, every week on Tuesday, we are putting up a question thread on our Facebook and Instagram. Put your questions in there. If you have questions in between those times, feel free to text me, shoot me a direct message on Instagram or a personal message on Facebook. We'll get you guys these answers, and we're going to get you guys some success, all right? Thank you. Conquer Fitness Q&A, weekly, Wednesdays. See you next week.